Hey, it's a beautiful spring day here in Central Europe, and I realized that the last time I did a screencast was back in the fall, so in November, and somehow I really missed it. So I decided to do a small recording again. So you might know that last week I wrote a blog post about how to sort arrays in Ember.js using various criteria and even having different sorting orders on the different properties. So if you want to read up on that, you can go to my blog balinteri.com and read that post. And what I want to show you now is some further possibilities that lets us do. So the current state of the application is that when you open the songs for a particular artist, then you will see the songs sorted by what I called in the blog post the best way, which means that they are first sorted in descending order of their ratings, and if there is a draw, then they are sorted in ascending order of their title alphabetically. So let's take a look at the code. And there is also a link, which when you click on the link, it will just change the sorting order to the title. So they are sorted by title and in ascending order. So it would be nice to have more options to sort by. And what I decided to do was to add the dropdown here with several options for the sorting order. So the Ember.js way of defining a dropdown is by using Ember select. So this is a view that is called Ember select, and it has several options. First of all, it needs an array of items from which the options will be rendered. And let me just predefine these things, and then we will actually have to go into the controller and specify them. So I call that sort options. Then there is a value which will be set whenever an item is picked from the dropdown. So let that be selected sort. And the option value, there are two options that need to be specified regarding the options of the dropdown. One is which property of the content items need to be used to be rendered as values of the options, and the other is as the labels, the actual text of the options that the user will see. So the option value path is the value. So you have to call it content. So the only thing that changes is the dot and then the property name from which it is taken. And sorry, option label path. It's content name. And just to have more or less the same layout as before, I pass the pull right class. So specifying it like this means that I will have to define an array called sort options, and each item in this array needs to have an ID and a property. Sorry, an ID and a name property on it. So let me just go back here, and if I say sort options, which is going to be an array, and then ID. So now I want to keep the same pragmatism that I think I applied last time, which is the ID is going to simply be a serialized form of the sorting properties that I want the list to have. So in this case, it means that, for example, what I call the best method of sorting is going to be first rating descending and then title ascending. And let's say I want to provide other options. I want to provide a simple sort by the title. Let's call that title by title, better by title ascending. The same but descending. Then let's have the same for the rating. So rating ascending. And rating descending as the last one. So that's it. And we can also see that whenever the value of the dropdown changes, so the user selects another item, then the selected sort property is going to be set. So, and it is going to be set to the ID, because that the IDs are going to be the values of the options. So that means that initially we can set it to the one that we want to be selected by default. Now we need some extra data massaging, since the, where is it? Yeah, here. So the sorted songs, you can see that the songs are sorted by their by the sort properties property of the controller, which was in the last episode originally this rating desk title ask value. But now this will need to be a computed property. Why? Because we set the serialized form on the selected sort property. So then we have to make it into an array, and this will depend on the property that we set from the dropdown. So that's not too complicated, because all I have to do is to, I have to take selected sort, split it up by commas. You see that there is one option with a comma in it. And I think that's it, because in the other cases, it will just be, when there is no comma, it will simply be that one string, but in an array, because I called split on the string. So then sort properties is going to be set correctly, and I think that should work, but let's see. So I cheated a bit and I fixed, it didn't work right away. I need to fix two little typos. One of them was that here I wrote value or maybe label with a capital A. So that's why it didn't work. And I had a JS lint error here. I missed that comma. So now if we go and load the application up, then you can see that by default it sorts the songs the best way, but you can quickly change it to your liking. So for example, here now they are sorted by in descending order of their titles. Let's see, descending by rating. So they all work, and of course if you add another one, what is another Pearl Jam song? I'm blanking on this one. So it gets added, and of course if you give it a rating, it will appear where it should. One final thing I wanted to mention is that if you want to try out the same thing or play with it yourself, then you need to upgrade to the latest Ember. Well, I'm not sure the latest, but I had the 1.0.0 Ember version, and it did not work with that. I think that the API of the Ember select view has changed. So make sure to download the latest starter kit before you begin. So that's it. Thank you very much for paying attention until the end, and I hope to be back with more screencasts soon. Have a nice day.